transactions. B, approval to move a custodian position from the sheriff's office budget to the building services budget. And C, approval to add a lead custodian position to the building services department. Item 8 from secondary roads includes A, approve the underground utility permit for Frontier Communications of Iowa LLC to be buried in county right-of-way, and B, approval of permit to work in the county right-of-way for Mitch Parker. I'll move the consent agenda.
Second.
Second by Radig. Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So just wanted to address item 6 briefly, if I may. So appreciate the discussion in all of its many forms last week, but just wanted to ask if this is approved by the board, will you be signing as the chair for the MOU?
I believe this will be signed, and I'll ask the vice chairman to sign.
Okay, why is that not going to be signed by you?
It is going to be signed for the county, and that's all that matters, Mr. Taylor.
Okay. I'm not sure that we've had a situation where we haven't had something that the majority of the board has executed as an agreement, except when someone's no longer acting as chair. And so I just wonder not only the reason, which is if somebody's chairing this board, for example, I think that there's a bridge that I don't think should be approved, and I'm the chair, and the majority of the board passes it, then it's incumbent upon me to sign and execute on behalf of the county. So I wonder, 2 questions. 1, have you asked if it's binding? And then 2, what's the rationale of not signing what the majority of the board is asking?
I don't feel like discussing this further is helpful.
Well, I think having an answer would be helpful, because if it's not binding because the chair of our board doesn't sign it, that's an issue.
The county will sign it, and it will be binding.
So can I ask a question of our county attorney?
If Mr. Bittinger signs it, I believe that it's binding on the board as a member of the Board of Supervisors.
So anybody can sign that?
I believe that that would be the case, Mr. Taylor. I don't want to get into the reasons, the other reasons that Mr. Un is why or why not. I'm not going to go down that road, but in terms of your specific question about Mr. Bittinger signing off on it, I don't see that there's any reason why he can't sign off on it.
Well, I think it's a poor precedent. We're probably getting away from the topic at hand, but I think it's one that if you can't function in that manner as chair, I think is troublesome, which is, we've never had that situation in our 10 or 11 years.
Well, I think the poor precedent is having an MOU back on the agenda for corrections, which also hasn't happened in our 10 or 11 years. Can we move on?
Is Mr. Nelson, are you lit up or?
No, I just
Oh.
hadn't turned, yep, sorry.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Passes 5-0. Item 9 from the Deputy County Auditor, Shell Scaff, is to approve and receive for signature the amended fixed asset policy effective July 1.
So last week, you approved to give direction as far as the threshold for group purchases of $100,000, so I've added that to the classification. I also made a few other changes that are not significant changes. It's just to match the classification language that's in our software, and so the required data that we require on our fixed asset cards, so that our practice that is audited